The given image is the line graph and it shows clear information about the rise of the smartphone. Most cell phone owners in the US have smartphones. 100% of US adults. Certain beautiful colors like purple, blue, black, white, grey are also visible on the screen. On the x-axis there is percentage of 20 to 80 and on the y-axis there are years starting from 2005 to ending 2020. The maximum portion is covered by any cell phone is the 2020 in the range of 100% and the minimum value is covered by any cell phone which is 60%. Maximum value of smartphone is covered by 2020 which is 80% and the minimum value in the year of 2010.
The given graph gives information about the rise of smartphone. Here, the statistics of the smartphone were included in the 2000 between the years 2005 and 2020. In 2010, the usage of smartphone has increased just randomly, and in any other, and then from 2005 there are cell phones. And overall, this image gives that the 100% of the US adults uses mostly any cell phone, and most of them are smartphone users by 2020.
The graph gives the information about the rise of the smartphone. Most cell phone owners in the US have smartphones, 100% of US adults. It observed that some numbering like 0, 20, 40, 60, and 80. It shows some years like 2005, 2010, 2015, and 2020. The highest value is covered by any smartphone and it is above the 80% in year 2020. The lowest value is covered by smartphone and it is below the 40% in year 2010. Overall, the topic gives the information about the rise of the smartphone.
The given image talks about the rise of the smartphone in the country of United States in the form of a line chart compared from the years of 2005 to 2020. And then in the image, it can be seen that initially in the year 2000, between 2010 and 2015, the adoption of the smartphone compared to the cell phone was pretty low. But then gradually we can see that there is a very big increase from the year of 2010 in the adoption of smartphones. And after finally, which in after and post 2020, the adoption of smartphone finally reaches the number of cell phones. Overall, the image is quite informative of the distribution of smartphones in US.
I can see a very informative line graph in front of me, which is about the rise of the smartphone in the US. As we can see, in the 2005, it was that less than 60% people who have the smartphone and any other cell phone, but it rose up by many percents. Like in 2020, after 2025, the people who have the smartphone is above the 80%, and who have any other cell phone is also nearly to the 100%. So we can say the value is very rose by the years 2005 to 2020.
The rise of the smartphone is the main topic of the given line graph. The data has been shown in percentage. On the left side of the line graph, percentage is shown, whereas on the bottom side, the name of the years are also highlighted. Any cell phone smartphone is also highlighted. In case of smartphone, the year of 2020 is highest at near about 90%, whereas the year of 2010 is lowest at near about 40%. The line graph is shown in various colors such as blue and white. Overall, the line graph is about the rise of the smartphone.
The image provided is a line graph comparison of the rise of the smartphone. It also provides information in different comparison, like a purple color with the any cell phone and the smartphone with the blue color. Here are from 2005 till 2020. For any cell phone, the number has raised to 86% in the year 2020. The lowest number in 2005 recorded with 60. For the smartphone, the gradual rise come to the 84%. After analyzing this bar graph, it can be concluded that there is an increasing trend in the rise of a smartphone.
This chart is giving information about the rise of the smartphone in the US. It also shows different years such as 2005 and 2010. The highest number of the photo is 100%, which is related to any cell phone, and the lowest number is 40, which is related to smartphone in 2010. Finally, I can see 2015 and 2020.
The image give also talk about rise of smartphone membership. There is a lot of information in this picture. There are various such aspects as most cell phone owners in the US have smartphones. The ratio shows the different functions and any cell phones and smartphones. Firstly, we can see that different years in showing different candles. The smartphone and cell phone, any difference in this between the pictures? Overall, this image is very informative and very helpful to the different smart ownership.
In this picture, we see the line chart comparing the any cell phone and smartphone for the rise of smartphone, and the most cell phone owners in the US have smartphones. In x-axis, we can find the years ranging between 2005 and 2020, and on the y-axis, we see the percentages from 0 to 100%. We can see that between the years of 2005 and 2010, there were no smartphones. However, with the introduction of smartphones, the number of cell phone numbers have gone up, and we see that over the years smartphone numbers have gone up, with most happening post 2020.
The following picture gives important information about the rise of the smartphone. The picture includes the most cell phone owners in the US have smartphones, 100% of US adults. The picture included the any cell phone and smartphone. The highest value on any cell phone is in 2020 and the lowest value is in 2005, which is almost 60%. In conclusions, the picture gives important information about the rise of the smartphone.
This chart gives the information about the rise of the smartphone. It's showing the most cell phone owners in the US have a smartphone. The vertical axis showing the percentage of the US adults, and the horizontal axis showing the years from 2005 to 2023. The highest number from the any cell phones is around 100%, and the lowest number was 60%. The lowest number for a smartphone was around.
The line chart gives information about the rise of the smartphone. The x-axis represents of the different year which are 2005, 2010 and 2010. And the y-axis represents of the 20, 40 and 60 percentage. Included of the two details any cell phone and smartphone. Cell phone of the highest 2020 is 100% and the lowest of 2005 66 percentage. And smartphone highest of 2020 is 80 percentage and lowest 2010 is 40 percentage. Overall, the image is about the rise of the smartphone.
The picture here shows a linear graph about the rise of the smartphone, and most cell phone users in US have smartphones. So in the year 2010, most of the people have cell phone, around 100% of the US adults, and in the year 2020, they have cell phones the most. However, the rising of smartphones are being significantly increased from 2010 to 2020.
The line graph gives the information about the rise of the smartphone. Most cell phone owners in the US have smartphones, where the data has been calibrating in percentage. On the y-axis, some are 20%, 40%, 60%, 80%, and 100% of US adults. On the x-axis, that is 2005, 2010, 2015, 2020. There are two categories, such as any cell phone and smartphone. The highest value is 100% of US adults as any cell phone with 2020, and the lowest value is 30% with smartphone in 2010, where the data